guys, it's Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, I wanted to do another knitting and crochet podcast and show you guys another one of my boho cardigans. Now, I didn't just finish this one. This one I did probably a couple years ago. I've had it done for a couple years. But I have whips today. I don't have a finished object, so I haven't done my podcast for the last like 2 or 3 years. So I thought, you know what, let me just go back over the last few years of what I've been making, and I'll just show you something if I don't have a whip for it today. So this is, not a whip, an FO, a finished object. So this is my finished object. So this is another boho cardigan. I absolutely love this. There we go. I absolutely love this. And I want it to look very, like I used like whatever colors. Like very boho-ish, so it looks like I just used like whatever scraps I had left. I didn't really use scraps, I planned it out, but I wanted to look like I just used a bunch of scraps. So anyway, I love how it turned out. And it goes down, this one goes down to like my knees. Yeah, it goes down to my knees. You can't completely see it. Okay, and then I'll show you the back. Get my hair out of the way. Here's the back. So there we go. So I just wanted to share this one with you guys, and I'll come up to the camera and talk about it, but I just wanted to stand back so you guys could see how it looks. So I absolutely love this. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let me sit down. Okay, so let's talk about it. I did do some things different on this boho cardigan than I've done on other ones. So, I'm going to get my particulars out, my directions. Now, to make these boho cardigans, I went through and put a video that you could go to look at it. A couple of things for these boho cardigans. I listed a video that you guys can go check out the video. Also, I wrote down exactly what I do, how much to cast on, how far to knit it out for a small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, 3X. And always add on 4 inches. So if you see a medium large is 55 and you need a extra large to 2X, add on 4 inches. So just always add 4 inches on, and that'll get you to the next larger size. As far as knitting it out, how wide you want it. The length is always going to be the same. About 115 stitches is probably going to be good for everybody. Pretty much. I mean, if you're 6 foot tall, add on a couple of inches, you know. What was I going to say? So in the, so from now on in the description, I have the video that shows you how to make the boho cardigan, my exact directions of how I do it, and for those who crochet, I put down a link for put this down a little bit. I put a link for Vago Day, because she did a video. Let me see how that looks better. Yeah, she did a video on how to make a crochet one, and in crochet it's called a shrug instead of a boho cardigan. It's still the same thing. So, and so anyway, I love the colors on this. Let you guys see. And I have it curling a little bit, and I'll tell you why. So, anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. But these are the colors. Aren't they gorgeous? No, it looks like I just put all these colors, like I just used whatever, but no, I planned out the colors. I always have to have a plan. I saw they were selling like something that looked like these boho cardigans. I think it was like in Facebook or something. A Facebook thing came up and it was in all different colors. Like, okay, instead of like choosing like all these different rainbowy colors like this, they did all shades of purple, all shades of brown, all shades of pink. Really cool. So I do want to make some like that too, where I'm doing like more like a light, medium through light shades of purple or shades of pink or shades of teal. Really, really pretty. And then they had one like this that's more just like more boho or rainbowy with a bunch of different colors. So I did this one. Okay, now the thing about this one that I don't like is it curls up on me, which it's fine. It's not going to hurt anything, and it doesn't look bad. But it's because I did it in stockinette. And even if you do the basic knit stitch for so long, like maybe the first 3 or 4 stitches, 3 or 4 rows, and then you start the stockinette, you can't do it on the bottom. You can only do it from side to side, right? So then it's still going to curl up on you at the top and on the bottom. So my thing is, if you're knitting it, I would just do it all just in knit stitch, okay? Just do it all garter or basic knit stitch, which are the same things. And then it won't curl up on you. Crochet, just do exactly what you don't have to do exactly, but do what Bagaudet said in hers, because I'm not sure of all the terminology in that when it comes to crochet, but I gave you guys I believe a good video to watch. And what I liked about Bagaudet's crochet video on how to make these boho cardigans, what she calls them shrugs, is that she describes it as you're just making one big square. And that's how I like to describe it too. Not one big square, one big rectangle, and then you fold it. So I talk about these every week. So this one I did all in stockinette. I like the way the fabric turned out, but I don't like the little bit of the curling that wants to happen. So I will always just do it in stockinette, or not stockinette. Stockinette's what I don't want to do it in. I'll do it in a basic knit stitch, or garter stitch, which is the same thing. I may also choose a different stitch out of my big book of knitting. I'd like to do that, where I create a different type of stitch and make one big rectangle, and then fold it into a boho cardigan. But I'll talk about that another time. But for right now, if you're going to knit it, I would just do the basic knit stitch. Okay, just trying to think of everything I was going to say about this. Oh, just really quick, my own personal directions. You don't have to write these down because they're in the description below. But I cast on 115 stitches. 115 stitches is going to get you anywhere like at the knees or at the calves, depending on how tall you are. I'm 5'6", so it gets me right about the calves. If you want it to be right below the butt, you may just want to cast on 100 stitches. If you want it right above the knees, you might want to do if you want it, okay, this is what I have to say. If you want it around the calf area, like how I like mine, I would do 115. If you want to do maybe just like at the knee area, I do like 100 stitches. So, you know, you can play with that range right there. That's all playable. This whole thing is playable, really. For the sleeve opening, I do a 9-inch sleeve opening, but mine, I make a large, extra large. If you knit this out or crochet it out to 55 inches, you're going to be looking at like a large, extra large. That's about what I do. And I use a 9-inch sleeve opening. But if your arms need more room, then go to a 10 or an 11 sleeve opening. You can knit this between 49 and 55 inches. And the 49 inches is more like a small medium. The 55 inches is like a large, extra large. And then 59, because you add on 4, would be like an extra large 2X. So, and I have this all charted out in my description. I do use a chunky yarn. I like to use a chunky yarn because you're like knitting coats now. You're not just knitting like a cardigan. You're knitting like a coat, okay? It's not super heavy. And let me tell you why it's not super heavy. Because I use a size 15 needle. Now, most chunky yarns call for a size 10, but I use a size 15. So it makes I call it making a fabric. So it makes a nice fluid fabric. It makes it lighter, but it still keeps it warm enough. So now you're wearing coats. I don't even wear coats anymore. I just wear my boho cardigans. Or I wear my Lenny Kravitz super scarves. And you need a 60-inch cable. So you need 15-inch needles with a 60-inch cable. Now, I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm not sure about crocheting, how that works, but you guys only use one crochet hook, so you don't have to worry about a cable. Okay, so that is that. You know, let me show you. So that's my finished object that I finished like a couple years ago, but I wanted to share with you guys. Some people had already seen this from a way back, but it's been years, so I don't know. But a lot of people are new to my my knitting podcast, and they haven't seen this one. So, and I have a couple more that I've made. I probably made like 8 of these. I have a lot. Okay, so let me show you that. So that's the only finished objects I have. Let me talk to you about works in progress. Okay, so again, I'm working on another boho cardigan. Don't worry, I'm going to change over to something different. I'm making a sweater next. I'm making a hickety pickety sweater. That's what I'm going to, after I finish this, that's what I'm going to be going for. So I've gotten really far on my, let me move my drink before I get fuzz in it. I got really far on my, I'll put it up here, on this boho cardigan. Okay, I'm making it out of, I've shown this a million times already. I'm making it out of this. This is superwash merino that we got from Hobby Lobby for $3.74. It was regularly $15. It's chunky, it's superwash merino, 100% wool, but superwash, so it shouldn't. You guys, you know what it does when I'm knitting it though? I do feel like I have fuzzies on my face. I don't feel like real bad itching or anything, but I feel like there's fuzzies. So after like a half an hour of knitting, I have to take a tissue and just wipe my face and then start again. And then within about another half an hour, it kind of feels like that again. But I kind of think too that anything that ever has wool in it, I have to wash it, because a lot of times it's not the wool, it's the chemicals they use to dye the yarn. So if you're allergic to wool, you think, or it makes you feel a little bit weird, you might want to wash it, and then that may get rid of the excess chemicals. And it might be the chemicals. For me, it's the chemicals, not the wool. So this is gorgeous. So I'm almost done with this. I only have, how many more balls do I have? I think I only have 3 more balls, hanks, to go, and then I'll be done with this. So next week I'll finally be done. Let's see if there's anything else in here I want to show you. No. Oh, I'm going to pause you guys here in a second because there is something I want to share with you guys today. Okay, so this is how far I've gotten done on this. It's huge, you guys. It stretches all the way on my 60-inch cables. Just a second. All right. So this is how far I've gotten done now. So it goes from here, here, and all the way here. So that's how long it is. That's the length. And then the width of how much I've gotten done, I'll show you the width. That's the length. So the length is how far it's going to come down on your body. And then this is the width so far. And I'm going to knit it out to 55 inches. And I'm at, I think I've measured close to 40 inches, I think I've done already. So I don't have too much more to go. So I'm excited. But look how beautiful it makes, look how beautiful it knits up. Isn't that pretty? I think that's gorgeous. So excited to get it done. It reminds me of this one, you know, just very colorful. So almost done with that, and I've given you guys all the particulars on that. Let me put this back down. Okay, there we go. Let me show you another work in, my other work in progress. I'll show you how far I've gotten on it. I haven't gotten as far on that as I have, because I've been really working my boho cardigan, because I'm just so excited to see that done. This is my triangular shawl. I'll show you how much I've gotten done on this. This is super easy. I'll talk about it in a second, how easy it is. Oh man. Can I get this up? Yeah, there we go. I swear, you think you put things in nice and neatly into your bag, and they still come out all flippin' a mess. Anyway, okay, this is my V-Shawl, and I'm making it with shawl and a ball. And there's the point there at the bottom, and then here we go. There's this end. And then there's this end. I'm almost done. I want it really big though, because I want like a really big shawl to you know, like a blanket almost. I want everything to be a damn blanket. So I don't know how many more rows I have to go. You can just keep going to wherever how big you want it to be. But I mean, I probably want this another 5 or 6 inches, probably. Let me see about this ruler. Yeah, I probably still want this to be another 6, 7 inches, maybe even 8 inches. I want it to be really big, like a really nice big shawl that can just go around me like that. So, like, I don't understand why people do all this work with a shawl and then they just take it and wrap it around their neck. Why don't they wear it like a shawl? I don't really understand that, but whatever. Everyone to each his own. I do love how the fabric's knitting up. Isn't that gorgeous? And the sparkle is in it. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's just so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. Okay, let me tell you the particulars. This is super simple too, and it's in the description of what to do. You know what? I feel like I put this, let me just change this. If I turn this around, it's going to, remember I told you how it wants to curl up because I did it in stockinette? If I put this on, turn it inside out, I think it's going to be better. Yeah, it's better because then it creates, I like this better. See, it curls up here, but it looks better. The curling is on the outside, so then it makes like a collar. It's not on the inside. See how much better that's laying now? All right, I'm glad I did that. I haven't, I have so many of these, I don't wear them all the time, and I especially don't wear them right now, so I kind of forgot. And when you make these boho cardigans, that's you have to kind of decide what side's going to be the bottom and what side's going to be the top. And it's whatever lays right for you, you know. So I'm trying to think, I want to put this back in. No, I'm good. So anyway, let's continue on. Okay, so I'm using shawl and a ball. I've shown this quite a few times. So I'll probably use maybe another half a ball. I mean, I don't think I need 2 complete balls, and I'm almost finished with the first ball. I only have this much left. So I'll probably only have to use half of this. We'll see. But look how gorgeous it is. You guys, isn't it? Shawl on the ball is beautiful. It is so gorgeous. I love it. And I'm using the color Prisms. And I've told you guys the particulars before, but it's a medium weight 4. Again, like I always say, I don't think this is a medium weight 4. Look at this. This looks like a 3. It's nice and soft. 61% cotton, 34% acrylic and other fibers. Now they say a knitting needle, what? 8 or 9? It's either an 8 or a 9. I'm using an 11. And the reason I'm using an 11 is I'm doing, because they said if you want it to look more like lace knitting, it's not completely lace knitting, but it makes a more open stitch. So it makes your stitch more open, and just looks more lacy, and it drapes better if you use like a couple sizes higher. So I used a needle size 11. These are those Knitter's Pride needles. I'll show you. These are the Knitter's Pride needles. Aren't they gorgeous? Look at those. These are what I've been talking about. I talk about these all the time. You get these at Hobby Lobby. Now they still have Knitter's Pride, but look how beautiful the needle is. They don't have that painted finish on them anymore. They just have more like the wooden look. Why would you not keep them like this? That's gorgeous. I love these. Are my favorite needles. I got them on clearance a couple years ago and bought tons of them, all different sizes. I bought so many, I made myself basically a whole set of needles. It's fabulous for like nothing. For like 15, 20 bucks, I have a whole set of needles. And when I spent like 20 bucks, I got like my favorite sizes. I bought 3 or 4 of my favorite sizes. So it wasn't just one set. I bought several sets, really. And let me make sure it's a size 11. Yeah, US 11. Oh, okay. Now what you do to make this, and also the directions are in the are below. Also, I found a crochet version of some V-Shawls. I think just one V-Shawl. It looked really easy. Like this is a pretty easy, this is a super easy pattern for crocheters. It's also in the description. But this is the direction. This is what I did for the knitting, for the V-Shawl for knitting. Cast on 3 stitches, stitch 1, yarn over, stitch 1, and then knit to the end of the row. So all you do then is stitch 1, yarn over, knit to the end of the row, stitch 1, yarn over, knit to the end of the row. And you just do that and make it as big as you want, like I'm doing right now. So, because my yarn is really pretty thin, I think it's like a 3 in my opinion. It takes a long time now at this point to get through a row because it's really wide. So, but anyway, yeah, so that's it. So simple, you guys. And from what I can see, the crochet one is really simple too. I was looking for a nice, simple, easy V-Shawl for crochet, and so I found a pattern for that. And they're just suggestions. I mean, of course, you're welcome to go and find your own pattern. Like, hey, I want to make a V poncho, or a V poncho, a V-Shawl, but I need it for crochet. And just start searching, you know, for YouTube videos, and you'll find one easily. Especially if you don't like the one I showed you. You can always just research it and keep going. And you can always go to Bag O' Day because she has a million crochet patterns. She said she has like, I don't know how many, but I think she has a couple hundred or something, or maybe more, something like that. Okay, so that is that. Let me get some water. Okay, I can put this away. What else do I want to show you? I want to make an announcement. Michael's has their Caron Cakes for $5. They're only like what, $10 or $12? Well, they're now $12. I think they used to be $10, something like that. And they're $5. Now I thought $5, that's not really reduced that good because, you know, at Hobby Lobby we're buying stuff for $1, $1.50, $1.25. But you know what? The yardage. I mean, you're getting 500, 600, 800 yards. Especially for the skinny cakes, you're getting like 800 yards. So you're getting a lot. So the yardage is excellent for the $5. That's why I went ahead and picked up way too much. So I want to make that announcement. Also, one of my stores had all the Michael's yarn marked down and put into bins, marked down $5. My other Michael's just doing it with the rest of the stuff, so you would never even know. And there was this lady, she was asking me if I like this peach or coral color, and I'm like, girl, I'm not the one to ask because I'll just get both. She's like, oh. I said, but just as important, all that yarn down there is $5. I can show you which ones. She goes, which ones? So I showed her which ones are $5 because I've already checked out the whole situation. And she's all, oh my God, girl, thank you so much. I said, but go scan each one just to confirm with yourself that they're $5. But as far as I know, these are all $5. She had her thing piled up. She's like, girl, thank you so much. How did you know about this? And I told her about YouTube and to join the community, and you'll get the scoop on it, all that kind of stuff. So she was really excited. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, I want to talk about some future knitting. Jeannie from Butterfly Crochet. I'll try to link her below. Love Jeannie. Not try, I will link her below. I think I might have her below anyway. Let me just see. Where's my pad of paper at? Anybody that I mention, I like to go ahead and put a link. Jeannie. Butterfly Crochet. A lot of people know who she is. She's a part of the Yarny Fiber Sisters. Okay, she does the thing where, like, if she sees something that she really wants to make, she puts it in a plastic bag or in some type of bag so that she knows, okay, this is future knitting. So she has her future knitting all lined up. She puts the pattern in there, she puts the yarn in there, and she's all ready to go. So then you know exactly what you're going to be making. So I thought that is so cool, because how many times are you, you know, going, oh, I want to make that, oh, I want to make that. But if you don't get that stuff out and lined up, you're going to forget that you want to make that. So, I mean, don't go 10 deep, but, you know, have maybe 4 or 5 projects on the sideline already all in like plastic bags or project bags ready to go. So, This is some yarn that I just bought. These bags, aren't they fabulous? Handles, and they seal up. You get these at Dollar Tree. Not the yarn, but the bags. You get the bags at Dollar Tree. You get 3 for $1.25. These are the 12 by 12s. If you get 14 by 15 or 15 by 15, something like that, or 12 by 15, I don't know. It's a little bit bigger. You only get 2. So decide what you want to get. But I usually get the ones with the 3. They're 12 by 12. And so this is a project right here. I'm so excited. So what this project is, this is yarn that I just bought for the $5, the Caron Cake. I'm going to make a boho cardigan out of it. And I only need 3 balls. And let me tell you why to make this boho. Oh, that's another thing I didn't need to tell you is the yardage. For a boho cardigan, you need somewhere between, if you want to make a large to an extra large, I probably use 700 to 800 yards, but you just might want to get 1,000 yards just to make sure that you got what you need. If you need a large to 2X, you might want to go up to 1,200 yards. But somewhere between 800 and 1,000, and I would always focus on just getting 1,000 yards, because then you're good. So to make these boho cardigans affordable, you always need to probably pretty much do it when the yarn is on clearance, because you need a lot of yardage. So this chunky cake, that's what I'm going to make my next boho cardigan out of, is this chunky Caron chunky cake. Got it at Michael's just a couple days ago for $5. Look how gorgeous that is. I think this is so native looking. I love turquoise when brown is added. Isn't that fabulous? I love it. There's the inside. Oh, you can't see. It's so messy. This one's about to fall apart. Okay, so, and look how much, look how big this is. This is as big as my damn head. It's 100% acrylic. It's so soft, you guys. Oh my God, it's so squishy and soft. I love it. It's called Mystic Chip. I love that name, Mystic Chip. Oh, fabulous. Sounds so magical. It's a bulky 6, US 11. I told you I use a 15 because it makes a very drapey boho cardigan, but still warm. It says a US 111 for the crochet hooks. So I'm not sure if that's how it works with crochet. Like, do you go up in crochet hook size if you want your fabric to be more like, you know, more fluid and stuff and a little bit lighter? I'm not sure, but you guys know. Machine washable and dryable, 100% acrylic, and this is what I love. 271 yards. A lot of, no, 200, not 2. That's millimeters. Sorry. 297 yards. That's why I only had to get 3 of these. So that's 900 yards. So I usually make a boho cardigan with like I said, 700 to 800 yards, because every chunky is a little bit thicker or thinner, you know, 700 to 800 yards. So I'm at 900 yards, so I have plenty to do this with. If you want to make a large to extra large and you have at least 800 to 900 yards, you're definitely gonna have enough. So I got 3 of these for myself for that. I am so excited. So for $15, I'm making myself a beautiful boho cardigan out of these gorgeous colors. I mean, look at that. I'm obsessed. And I've already let you guys know all the particulars on that. And so that's future knitting. That's future knitting. So I have it in here, and I can just Ziploc. I'm not going to zip it now, but I can zip it and put this aside, and then put the pattern in here. I'm not going to put the pattern now because I'm working on a boho cardigan right now. I don't need the pattern. I've been making boho cardigans forever. Okay, I can do them with my eyes closed. Okay, next. Now I put this one because I ran out of my plastic bag, so this is what I'm using as a project bag. It's my own artwork. This is one of my girls that I drew. And I did a mixed media background, and then this is my girl that I drew and painted up and everything. There she is. I have her on journals too, and they're in my Etsy shop if you're interested. And I don't have tote bags, but I do have her on journals, on journals, or I don't know what my problem is with wording right now. It's in my Etsy shop, and there's a clickable link below if you're interested. So anyway, my husband had these made up for me, these totes. Aren't they fun? So it's just a nice big tote bag. There it is. Love it. Now I have 3 more of the same one in here. This one looks a lot nicer. So much nicer. That one is. The other one I showed you was just falling apart. God, I just think it's so Native American looking, so native looking. See, and it matches my ring. Isn't that fabulous? I love it. Matches my bracelet. Matches my other ring. I love, see, this is why I love turquoise and brown. It looks so good in like turquoise jewelry. It's gonna look great in your boho cardigan. Okay, but this isn't gonna be a boho cardigan. This is going to be, I have 3 balls of it, and it's going to be a Lenny Kravitz super scarf. So a lot of you guys have seen my Lenny Kravitz super scarves. They look like this. Now I don't follow the directions on this red heart thing here. I'm just showing you how long it is. See how long that is? If you were to straighten it, it goes to about the calf area. You can put fringe on the bottom if you want. So I don't know what stitch that is, but I just do the basic knit stitch and make them. So what do? I have all the directions of exactly how I do it in the directions below. What I like about this, see how wide these scarves are? Even hers is really wide. See how wide that is? So it's in between a shawl and a scarf. You're not just making a scarf, you're not just making a shawl. It's a shawl scarf. And it goes all the way down to your knees. It's super warm. And it goes right around your shoulders, like to about right there. So it's really nice and warm. So if you wear a sweater in the winter and then put that on, if you live somewhere that's not super, super cold, you can wear that out. I wore that out many of times. Like it'll get to be like 40 or something here, and that feels really nice. Even at 30 degrees with a nice warm sweater and then put that around, it felt so good. So you cast on, if you're knitting this, you cast on 30 inches. Even if you're crocheting, when you first chain so that, well, I don't know how many inches that is. Okay, this is the deal if you crochet. Look up how to make a super scarf. I'm sure they have that in crochet. You really want to make sure that it's about this wide. Maybe 10 inches wide. Let me see. 12 inches? Somewhere, I would make it like this, 12 inches wide, because that's how wide mine is. Okay, probably about 12 inches wide is what you're looking at. I never thought to figure that out. But you want it nice and wide. Okay, does it have to be exact? No. Okay, nothing I do is exact. But maybe 12 inches wide so that it can be like a shawl, okay? But then it's long, so it's also like it's like a shawl and a scarf. So if you're knitting, cast on 30 stitches, you're gonna knit it out to 95 inches. Am I right? Yeah, let me just make sure. I've rewritten these directions a couple of times. That's why I'm looking at it. Just a second. Yeah. Work it out until it's 95 inches. And that's whether you're knitting it or crocheting it. I used chunky and I held it double. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I did. I used chunky and I held it double, and I used a size 19 knitting needle. So if it's crochet hooks, whatever, a big crochet hook for chunky yarn is what you need. So basically when you put 2 chunkies together, you're creating like a pretty super chunky now. But it makes it really nice and squishy and warm, and I loved it. And I've made 2 and I've shown you guys, and people have gone nuts. Okay, I call it the Lenny Kravitz super scarf, and the reason I call it that is I saw Lenny Kravitz online with this scarf on, and I went, oh, that's a super scarf. But what I like about his is his was so wide, like 12 inches wide. And what I liked about his is that it was so long, like it went down to his knees. I'm like, that is fabulous. So that's what I do, and all the directions for what I said is down below. Now crochet wise, I don't have a crochet thing for this, but I think you guys can figure that out, because it's just whatever your basic stitches, do that. Make it so that when you chain on, you chain it so it's about 12 inches wide, crochet it out to 95 inches long. That's it. So it's so simple, you guys. So yeah, so let me put these directions in here so that I make sure that I That's another future project. So I'm going to have a boho cardigan out of that same yarn and a Lenny Kravitz super scarf. I'm so excited. I can't even stand it. Okay. What else do I have? One more project I want to show you guys of future knitting. So again, I have this yarn in here and I want to make a sweater. So this will be my this is my next project right here. I want to make a sweater, and then at the same time still try to finish up that triangle shawl. And once I figure out the triangle, I do the triangle shawl, then I'll start either the boho cardigan over here, or I'll start the Lenny Kravitz super scarf over here. But I'm not sure which one. But my next project, when I'm done with this boho cardigan, is going to be my sweater. I try to work 2 projects at a time. I try to have my main project and then my side piece. I always have a side piece with me, like, you know, you have a side friend. Got a side piece, which is right now boho cardigan's my main one, and my side piece is the triangle shawl. So next will be my sweater, will be my main piece, and my side piece will still be probably that triangle shawl until I get that done, and then I'll add on something else. So I'm using, okay, first of all, before I talk about this, I'm gonna let you guys look at the yarn. It's gorgeous. It's like a velvety feeling yarn, but it's all it's all acrylic, but it feels like velvet. It's so nice and squishy and soft. I love it. Hickety Pickety, Sonia, she created basically this idea, this pattern for making a sweater. And I've thought about it, but I didn't know what I was thinking, if that was right. Because I'm like, why can you not make a sweater? If you want a sweater that's very square and oversized and very boxy looking, which is my favorite sweaters. I like a sweater to be square, boxy, oversized, and past my butt. And then wear it with a pair of spandex jeans and some boots. That's like my uniform in the wintertime. And then throw a boho cardigan over that. Love it. Or throw a Lenny Kravitz super scarf over that. So anyway, she was saying basically take 2 squares, put them together, knit 2 squares or crochet 2 squares, put them together, and you just basically figure it out from how long you want it, how much you chain on, or how much for crocheting, how much you chain on, and for knitting, how many you cast on, how many stitches. And I'm thinking about probably about 65 stitches, somewhere between 50 and 65. I got to work that out. I will talk to you guys exactly what I do once I get it all worked out. I don't really have that pattern written up for myself yet, but I will. So you get the length, and then you look at, so how long, how much you cast on or how much you chain on is how long you want your sweater. And then how wide you're going to make each, like the front panel and back panel, is how wide you want it. So I know I want 2 or 3 inches positive ease on both sides, because I want mine oversized and I want it very boxy, like square. And then for sleeves, you use 2 rectangles. So you're just going to make some rectangles, decide how long you want the rectangles, how much you're going to cast on or chain, and then how wide you want them. And so now you're just going to put the pieces together, front and back, sew those up, sew them up to here, leave a neck, leave the opening, sew in your arms, right? And then sew that up. And now you got a sweater. She has done this, and her sweaters look so good. Now, when you get down to the bottom, if you want, I'm not sure how it is for crochet, but for knitting, you can go ahead and start doing rib knitting. If you want a rib on it, you can do a rib knitting on the bottom. I don't like a rib knitting on the bottom. I just like it straight. And even here, I'm not going to put a rib knitting. I like a very open cuff on mine, so like the same length all the way down, kind of like a football jersey, how square and boxy they are. And do they have ribbing on the bottom? No, they just have it the same length all the way down. I love that look. So that's how I want to do it. I don't have particulars of how much you cast on, all that. I will let you guys know what I've done for my size, and then I can help you guys make adjustments for your size. And basically, again, I'll tell you guys how much I cast it on, how far I knitted it, how wide I made mine for the size it's going to be. And again, to make it bigger, you add on 4 inches, add on 4 inches, add on 4 inches, because we're just making squares and rectangles, right? Okay. I think that describes it all. Oh, you know what? I will put also, I love Sonia, Hickety Pickety. You guys have to go check out her channel also. Let me put Hickety Pickety down so I can put her in the description. You guys can go check her out. You'll love her. She's hilarious. She knits and crochets, so she's multi-talented, and she has a lot of great ideas. I love everything she knits and crochets, but I love everything she knits because I knit. And she was a crocheter for a long time. She just started knitting over the last couple of years. Okay, so I'm using clearance yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's Yarn B, Velvety Smooth. It was regularly $4.49. I got it for $1.12. So cheap. It's called Pale Blush. Look how gorgeous that is. I'm so excited to have a pale blush sweater. And like, I love the way it feels. Like, I'm gonna be, it's gonna be so cozy. The only thing I wish more is that I would have bought more different. I would have bought different colors, because I love this stuff. But I couldn't find it, only in this pale blush. I didn't see anything else. So anyway, I was looking at the particulars. It's 161 yards per ball. US 9 knitting needle. Crochet hook is a K 10.5. It's a weight. It's a 4 weight. And 100% poly. Oh, 100% polyester, not 100% acrylic. 100% polyester. So it just feels so nice on my skin. Oh, I can't wait to make this sweater. So as soon as I get done with my boho cardigan, I will get this figured out exactly how to do the measurements of my sweater and what I did. I'll let you guys know what I did. So at least you have a baseline and you can start figuring yours out with your size, either up or down or the same, depending on what you want to do. Love this. Okay, so there's that. One other thing I want to share with you guys, I bought this book called The Big Book of Knitting. This is a fabulous book. It's like a Bible for knitters. I bought this a few years ago and I barely used it, but I should be using it more. But I was looking through it because I'm like, I want to, with my boho cardigans, just to get away from the basic knit stitch, I want to just find different stitches that I can do just to make one big rectangle for my boho cardigans, and just to make them look a little bit different. So I was looking in here for stitches. So I did find that, like right here. Seed stitch, large stitch, box stitch, rib stitch, cross rib. There's like a bunch of different stitches right here. So I thought I would look some of those up and experiment with that. But then when I was doing that, I ran across something that's super important. You know, on the ball band, nobody seems to know, like, for the cleaning symbols, what those symbols mean. Everyone's always like, I don't know what these symbols mean. Well, look what I found in this book. Isn't that fabulous? So if you want, take a screenshot of that or take a picture of it, and then there's the bottom half. I think I got it up high enough. Okay, and then here again. And that is all the symbols that are on the ball band, so you know what you need to do for washing. It can be washed, it can be dried, it can't be blah, 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 whatever. I never know what the hell those symbols are, so I wanted to show you guys that. And if you go on my Facebook, on my home private page, Facebook page, I have that on there today, so you can go there and see that. If you want to print it off your computer, you could screenshot it there too, or you could have screenshotted it right here. But I wanted to let you know that. Isn't that fabulous? And this has been in my book the whole time. Now, if I would bother to like actually read the Big Book of Knitting to some extent, look at that. I would know. I got this from Etsy. No, not Etsy. eBay. I probably paid, I don't know. I think this was really cheap. I think I only paid like $5 or $6, but this was like three or 4 years ago. So I've had it for a long time. Okay, you guys, I'm going to pause because there's one more thing I want to show you guys. I'm really super excited about it. It's not quite done, but it's done enough that I can show you. So let me pause real quick. Okay, so there's a guy named Andy Ward here on YouTube. And there's a guy here on YouTube named Andy Ward, and he teaches you how to make pottery the ancient way, like how the natives did it. And it's a coil and scrape method, and you actually when you're gonna fire your piece, you can fire it in an open pit. It's flippin' fabulous. So I belong to his pottery club, and he has a bunch of videos on how to do all this. But to get down to the nitty gritty, to like step-by-step directions, you really need to belong to his club. It's only $20 a month. So I joined his club, and I have access to all these lessons to make pottery. And it's dirt cheap to get into because you don't need a wheel and you don't need a kiln. Okay? So it's dirt cheap. I buy my clay at Hobby Lobby. You add sand to it. He teaches you how to do it. Add a little water, and that makes it so that your clay doesn't crack while it's drying, and less chances of it cracking in the fire. So you guys have to check him out. Let me put him down. Andy Ward, if you're interested in learning how to make pottery. He likes to make pottery, and then he likes to make it and paint it up in the ancient way, like how the natives did it. It's really cool. But I made a yarn bowl. God, my words today. I made a yarn bowl. Now, this is not painted up yet, but I wanted to show it to you guys. I love this. And this little spot right here is where you put the yarn in of course, the bowl, and then your little string of yarn comes out right here. That's it. Here's the inside. Isn't this fabulous? I love this. Now, he didn't show me how to make this, but the techniques that he teaches, I can make anything. I make mugs. I've made pots to cook on the stove. I've made mugs. I've made all kinds of stuff. I've made vases, and now I made this. So I want to make a few more of these. Now, for this, instead of painting it, and when you paint it, you paint them with mineral paints, which you use minerals and a little bit of clay. The clay makes the paint adhere to the pot, and you use minerals because that's what the natives used. They didn't, and then you can fire them. So instead of using glazes, you use minerals to paint with. Now, what I want to do is a thing called it's not totally raku, but it's a form of raku. Use different minerals and different things. Use different minerals, different chemicals. You use eggshells, all this stuff. And you throw it all inside and all around it, and then wrap it in foil and put it in the open fire pit. And it comes out with all these different cool colors all over it. So that's what I'm going to do to this. So I'm super excited about it. So just want to show you guys this yarn bowl. And the next time you see it, it'll be, I'm going to call it a form of raku. It'll be all raku'd up. So it'll be all kinds of cool colors, all marbled and meshed together. And it'll be really, really neat. Okay, you guys, I think that's it for today. Is that it? Let me make sure. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm excited. Hopefully next week when I come on, I'll be done with my boho cardigan so I can show you guys that. And hopefully I will have started my boxy sweater, my hickety pickety sweater. I told her, I go, can I call it hickety pickety sweater? Because basically you created the pattern or the concept, you know, of just taking 2 squares and 2 rectangles and make a sweater. So I love it. Okay, you guys, that is it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram. I have 2 Instagrams. I have one Instagram that shows my artwork, and my second Instagram shows me all my knitting, like knitting projects, finished objects. Also, I'm a planner. So also any planner layouts on that channel, I have them. So join both Instagrams. I have also on Facebook, I have a Facebook group called Our Magical Little Place. Doesn't matter if you're a knitter, crocheter, mixed media artist, junk journal, doesn't matter what you do. Come there, join, share with us whatever you're creating. Come get inspiration, inspire others. If you have a YouTube channel or make tutorials, you can come and give us a link there. If you have an Etsy shop, you can give a link there. If you're selling something, let us know. It's all one shop place, like for everything. It's really cool. I go live every Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. It's called Angie's Yarn Party, and we just have fun for 2 hours. We joke, we laugh, we talk about yarn, we talk about knitting, we talk about crocheting, we talk about everything. It's really fun. I do a giveaway. So that's every Friday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. On Sunday, I go live again, and it's called Angie's Art Party. So everyone's invited. It doesn't matter. I have a lot of knitters and crocheters that come in because they're like, I want to learn about some mixed media, because I'm usually doing a mixed media project. People are doing whatever. They're crocheting, they're knitting, they're doing art projects along with me. They're doing whatever kind of stuff they want to do, and we all just talk and have a good time for 2 hours. I do 2 giveaways in that podcast, or that live, I should call it. And it's just a lot of fun. And if you're interested as a knitter or crocheter, if you're interested in learning about some mixed media, my version of doing mixed media, come check it out this Sunday. So it's every Sunday, 2 o'clock Pacific time, every Sunday. So that's it. Okay, I've talked enough. That is it. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.